How's it going, everybody? The first half of the spring sale just started on PlayStation. It's running from now until April 8th, and there's a ton of absolute bangers on sale for up to 75% off. Every day, I put together lists of the top games you can get at a deep discount, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss tomorrow's video. Alright, with that out of the way, let's get straight into it. For $24, 20% off, Dispatch is a superhero workplace comedy set in modern-day Los Angeles, where you play Robert Robertson, aka Mecha Man, forced into a desk job at a superhero dispatch center after his mech suit is destroyed. Manage a roster of ex-supervillains seeking redemption, coordinate tactical emergency deployments across the city, and shape relationships through branching dialogue choices while balancing office drama and team upgrades. It's an 87 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $40, 20% off, Clair Obscur Expedition 33 is a turn-based RPG set in a Belle Epoque-inspired world, where the paintress erases anyone who reaches her newly painted number, pushing Expedition 33 into a desperate final mission. Its reactive combat blends traditional strategy with real-time dodging, parrying, re-aim targeting, and rhythmic combo timing, letting you tailor builds through gear, skills, and clever party synergies that reward precision. It's a 92 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 60 hours to platinum. For $21, 70% off, EA Sports FC 26 is the latest installment in the football franchise, offering an overhauled gameplay experience to deliver more authentic and responsive matches. Whether you prefer career mode with real-world manager live challenges, competitive gameplay for football ultimate team and clubs, or creating your dream squad in new live events and tournament modes, every match feels dynamic and strategically deep. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 80 hours to platinum. For $32, 20% off, Arc Raiders is a tactical cooperative action game where players scavenge, craft, and fight to survive in a post-apocalyptic world split between the dangerous surface ruled by lethal arc machines and the underground society of Speranza. Explore dynamic maps, complete quests for traders, and adapt to evolving environments and enemies, while shaping your raider through a branching skill tree emphasizing survival, mobility, or conditioning. It's an 87 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 120 hours to platinum. For $35, 30% off, Split Fiction is a fast-paced co-op adventure where two writers, Mio and Zoe, get trapped inside their own stories after a device meant to extract ideas goes haywire in spectacular fashion. Its split-screen design demands tight coordination as you and a partner swap between sci-fi and fantasy worlds, mastering new abilities, solving clever puzzles, and tackling wildly different challenges that constantly remix the gameplay experience. It's a 91 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $40, 20% off, Mafia The Old Country is a gritty third-person action adventure set in 1900 Sicily, where you play Enzo Favara rising through the ranks of the Teresi crime family. Explore dangerous, open-ended Sicily filled with rival families and opportunities, fight using period-accurate weapons like stilettos and luparas, improve your loyalty through story-driven missions filled with betrayal, sacrifice, and rising power within the family. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $40, 33% off, Astro Bot is a supersized space adventure where Astro must rescue his stranded crew and rebuild the PS5 mothership after it's attacked by his galactic nemesis. Explore over 50 handcrafted planets filled with secrets and challenges, dash and rocket punch through thrilling obstacles, and team up with iconic PlayStation heroes while using all-new power-ups and interactive environments to bring the universe to life. It's a 95 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $36, 40% off, Forza Horizon 5 is an open-world racing game set across the vibrant landscapes of Mexico, offering hundreds of the world's greatest cars and limitless driving adventures across deserts, jungles, cities, and coastlines. Explore dynamic environments, participate in seasonal events, and take on challenges from high-speed races to off-road escapades, all while customizing and upgrading your vehicles with deep tuning options. It's a 92 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $25, 50% off, Red Dead Redemption is an open-world western action adventure that follows former outlaw John Marston as he's forced to hunt down his old gang to protect his family. With a sprawling journey across the American West and Mexico, a powerful character-driven narrative, and the included Undead Nightmare expansion that reimagines the world with a zombie apocalypse, it delivers one of Rockstar's most celebrated experiences. It's a 94 on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. For $39, 35% off, Elden Ring is a dark fantasy action RPG that drops you into the vast lands between, where you rise as a tarnished seeking to claim the power of the Elden Ring and become Elden Lord. Explore sweeping fields and intricate, multi-layered legacy dungeons, customize weapons, armor, and magic to craft unique playstyles, and master challenging combat while uncovering hidden secrets and optional bosses across the massive open world. It's a 95 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 65 hours to platinum. For $30, 40% off, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered is a critically acclaimed action-adventure where you play Ellie and Abby, navigating a post-apocalyptic world filled with danger, revenge, and emotional storytelling. Explore beautifully reimagined 4K environments, master tense combat encounters with a host of enemies, and experience new gameplay modes including roguelike survival runs, lost levels, and enhanced accessibility features. It's a 93 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 35 hours to platinum. For $37, 25% off, Avowed is a first-person fantasy action RPG set in the living lands of Eora, where you play an envoy of Ader investigating a mysterious plague that soon becomes deeply personal. Explore a vibrant frontier filled with diverse environments, creatures, and factions, fight with fluid combat combining swords, spells, and guns, and shape your journey through choices that affect companions, the world, and your own character's fate. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 60 hours to platinum. For $35, 50% off, Silent Hill F is a psychological horror adventure set in 1960s Japan, where Shimizu Hinako's town of Ebisugaoka is engulfed in a mysterious fog that transforms it into a nightmarish landscape. Explore twisted paths and eerie environments filled with hidden secrets, solve complex puzzles to unlock the town's dark mysteries, and confront grotesque monsters while uncovering a gripping story of doubt, regret, and inescapable choices. It's an 86 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 35 hours to platinum. For $15, 75% off, Red Dead Redemption 2 is an open-world western that follows Arthur Morgan and the Vanderlyn gang as they struggle to survive while the modern world closes in around their increasingly fragile way of life. You'll roam a detailed frontier packed with cinematic story missions, dynamic shootouts, and immersive systems that make exploration, survival, and conversation feel natural, reactive, and full of small environmental touches. It's a 95 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 200 hours to platinum. For $22, 55% off, Cyberpunk 2077 is an open-world action RPG where you play as V, a mercenary fighting to survive in the sprawling neon chaos of Night City as you chase power, answers, and a path to freedom. You'll explore massive districts, take on gigs and story missions, and customize your build with deep RPG systems, cyberware upgrades, and branching dialogue that meaningfully affect combat, navigation, and narrative outcomes. It's a 76 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 70 hours to platinum. For $29, 58% off, Gran Turismo 7 is a premium racing simulator that celebrates 25 years of the series with a deep, authentic driving experience built for both solo and competitive players. With over 400 meticulously detailed cars, more than 90 track routes featuring dynamic weather, and the return of GT simulation mode alongside competitive sport mode, it blends car culture, progression, and high-level racing into one expansive package. It's an 87 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 90 hours to platinum. For $35, 50% off, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is a grounded first-person action RPG set in 15th century Bohemia, following Henry of Skalitz on a gripping journey of revenge, identity, and loyalty against a backdrop of political unrest and social upheaval. Explore a richly realized medieval world of dense forests, bustling towns, and morally complex choices, while shaping Henry's skills, reputation, and relationships through reactive RPG systems. It's an 89 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 130 hours to platinum. For $23, 67% off, Doom the Dark Ages is a dark fantasy sci-fi prequel to Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal that casts you as the Slayer in a brutal medieval war against the forces of hell. Wield devastating weapons like the Super Shotgun and the new Shield Saw, pilot a towering Atlan mech and a fire-breathing mecha dragon, and tear through demon-infested castles and hellscapes in id Software's largest, most expansive levels yet. It's an 86 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $30, 40% off, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is a standalone action RPG where Cloud and his friends journey across a vibrant world after escaping the dystopian city of Midgar, seeking Sephiroth and uncovering new mysteries. Explore expansive regions filled with side quests and minigames, traverse the planet on chocobos and other unique transportation, and engage in strategic, team-based combat that deepens relationships and unlocks powerful combos. It's a 92 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 200 hours to platinum. For $20, 50% off, Gears of War Reloaded is an Unreal Engine remaster of the original blockbuster shooter, fully optimized for PS5 with 4K assets, HDR, and beautifully remastered lighting, shadows, and enhanced environmental detail. This definitive edition includes all DLC, bonus campaign content, and full crossplay and progression support, letting you fight the Locust threat solo or cooperatively with friends in cinematic, action-packed battles. It's a 94 on Game Rankings, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 150 hours to platinum. For $40, 43% off, Stellar Blade is a fast-paced action-adventure where Eve returns to a desolate Earth to reclaim it from the malevolent Naytiba and save humanity. Slash through remnants of civilization with graceful yet brutal combat combos, explore breathtaking, highly detailed post-apocalyptic environments brought to life on PS5, and unlock a gripping, emotionally charged story filled with mysteries and shocking revelations. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 60 hours to platinum. For $20, 50% off, Grand Theft Auto V is an action-packed open-world adventure where three criminals, Michael, Franklin, and Trevor, navigate the ruthless underworld of Los Santos, planning high-stakes heists in a city teeming with opportunity. You'll explore a vast, detailed city filled with dynamic events, side activities, and hidden secrets, seamlessly switching between characters to tackle missions with strategy, skill, and chaotic creativity. It's a 96 on Game Rankings, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 150 hours to platinum. For $16, 20% off, MIO Memories in Orbit is a beautiful Metroidvania where you awaken MIO, a nimble robot, to explore the mysterious vessel, a massive technological ark overgrown with vegetation and rogue machines. Explore a captivating, interconnected universe full of secrets and curiosities, earn new abilities to climb, glide, and master movement, and face over 30 enemies and 15 guardian bosses while uncovering the vessel's lost memories. It's an 83 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $17, 75% off, NBA 2K26 is a basketball simulation where you build your MyPlayer legend, collect stars for My Team, and manage an NBA franchise in My NBA or My League. Dominate every possession with realistic gameplay powered by ProPlay, team up with friends in immersive multiplayer arenas and online events, and shape your career, customize your MyPlayer, and manage your roster while making strategic decisions on and off the court. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, and there's a broken trophy making the platinum unobtainable. For $18, 40% off, Stray is a third-person adventure where you play as a lost cat navigating the neon-lit alleys and shadowy depths of a decaying cyber city in search of a way home. You'll climb rooftops, sneak through forgotten ruins, and interact with quirky droids, hostile creatures, and environmental hazards, while solving clever puzzles and uncovering the city's haunting secrets buried beneath layers of rust, grime, neon, and forgotten technology. It's an 84 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $16, 60% off, Nier Automata Game of the Yorha Edition is a post-apocalyptic action RPG following the Yorha android squad as they battle invading machine lifeforms in a beautifully desolate world. You'll engage in high-speed combat that blends hack-and-slash action with shooter mechanics, explore hauntingly gorgeous environments, and uncover a deeply emotional story full of existential themes, philosophical questions, and multiple endings. It's a 91 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 60 hours to platinum. For $17, 50% off, the Bloodborne Complete Edition bundle is an action RPG where players hunt nightmarish creatures and uncover the dark secrets of Yharnam, a cursed city plagued by a deadly endemic illness and haunted by unspeakable horrors. Players explore treacherous streets, battle grotesque foes, and survive the horrors of a gothic world while also experiencing the Old Hunters DLC, revealing the sinister past of Yharnam's hunters. It's a 91 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For For $18, 70% off, Nier Replicant is an action RPG where you play a young man traveling a ruined world with the magical tome Grimoire Vice, seeking the sealed verses to cure his sister Yona's terminal illness before it's too late. You'll battle twisted shades using fluid real-time combat, explore melancholy landscapes, and unravel a layered narrative filled with cryptic lore, shifting perspectives, and powerful emotional revelations. It's an 83 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $15, 40% off, Outer Wilds is an open-world mystery where you explore a solar system trapped in an endless time loop, uncovering secrets, hidden ruins, and ancient civilizations while piecing together the fate of a dying cosmos. You'll pilot your ship and navigate hazardous planets that change over time, from crumbling surfaces to shifting sand-covered cities, using gadgets to investigate signals, decode alien messages, and survive. It's an 85 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $15, 75% off, 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim is a sci-fi mystery epic where 13 intertwining stories follow high school students caught in a desperate battle to defend humanity from mysterious kaiju invasions. You'll explore hand-drawn 2D environments and connect each character's narrative, then switch to fast-paced, top-down mech combat where you customize Sentinels with powerful weaponry and special abilities to fight colossal enemies. It's an 86 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 35 hours to platinum. For $14, 30% off, Cuphead is a run-and-gun boss rush masterpiece inspired by 1930s cartoons, featuring hand-drawn cell animation, watercolor backgrounds, and an incredible jazz soundtrack throughout its stunning, chaotic world. Battle your way through surreal worlds filled with bizarre, imaginative enemies and bullet hell chaos that demands precision, patience, and quick reflexes, whether playing solo or with a friend as Cuphead or Mugman. It's an 88 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $25, 50% off, Final Fantasy XVI is an epic dark fantasy RPG where you follow Clive Rossfield, the first Shield of Rosaria, sworn to protect his younger brother Joshua, the Dominant of the Phoenix. When tragedy strikes, Clive is thrust into a gripping tale of vengeance against Ifrit, a dark icon whose catastrophic power threatens the land, as you journey through a beautifully realized world shaped by colossal icons and their wielders. It's an 87 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 75 hours to platinum. For $30, 50% off, Lies of P is a dark Souls-like that reimagines the story of Pinocchio against the hauntingly elegant Belle Epoque, blending gothic atmosphere with brutal, methodical combat. Play as a puppet created by Geppetto, navigating the madness and bloodlust of Prat, while a mysterious voice guides you to adapt your weapons and skills, unravel the city's secrets, and choose whether to confront challenges with truth or weave lies to survive. It's an 82 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $20, 50% off, Tetris Effect Connected is a reinvention of the classic puzzle game, turning every match into a hypnotic audio-visual experience where music, visuals, and effects pulse and sync with your moves to create a truly meditative flow. It features over 30 stages and 10 modes that evolve dynamically as you play, blending beauty with challenge, while cross-platform multiplayer adds both cooperative and competitive options. It's an 89 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 10 out of 10, and about 150 hours to platinum. For $20, 60% off, Final Fantasy XII The Zodiac Age is a high-definition remaster of the classic JRPG, rebuilt with modernized battle systems, a revamped Zodiac job system, and enhanced visuals that bring the world of Ivalice to life like never before. You'll follow Princess Ashe, Vaughn, and a cast of unlikely heroes across a war-torn kingdom, engaging in strategic real-time combat, exploring sprawling cities and dungeons, and uncovering political intrigue. It's a 91 on Game Rankings, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 80 hours to platinum. For $35, 50% off, Silent Hill 2 is a haunting psychological survival horror remake that follows James Sunderland as he returns to the fog-shrouded town after receiving a letter from his deceased wife. Rebuilt with modern visuals, immersive sound design, and an over-the-shoulder camera, the town feels more oppressive as you explore expanded locations, solve puzzles, and confront manifestations born from James' fractured psyche. It's an 87 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $10, 85% off, Star Wars Jedi Survivor continues Cal Kestis' journey in a third-person action adventure where the galaxy grows darker and more dangerous, forcing him to confront the Empire and survive against overwhelming threats at every turn. You'll master enhanced force powers, new lightsaber combat styles, and creative ability combos to take on challenging enemies in cinematic encounters that test timing, skill, and strategy. It's an 84 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $12, 80% off, Assassin's Creed Odyssey is an open-world action RPG where you play as a Spartan hero navigating ancient Greece, shaping your destiny and influencing history through the choices you make in a world on the brink of chaos. You'll explore untamed landscapes and bustling cities, engage in large-scale battles, complete quests that affect the world around you, and develop your character with abilities, weapons, and gear. It's an 84 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 70 hours to platinum. For $24, 60% off, Persona 3 Reload is a reimagined RPG where you step into the shoes of a transfer student thrust into the mysterious Dark Hour, awakening powerful abilities while forging bonds that shape the fate of friends and the world. You'll explore this hidden hour, engage in turn-based combat against shadows, and balance daily life on Port Island, from attending school and part-time jobs to deepening relationships that influence the story. It's an 87 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 60 hours to platinum. For $40, 60% off, Kingdom Hearts All-in-One package gathers the epic saga of Sora, Donald, and Goofy as they journey across Disney and Pixar worlds to stop another Keyblade war. This complete collection includes 1.5 and 2.5 remakes, 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue, and 3, delivering hundreds of hours of action, story, and exploration across beloved worlds, iconic characters, and magical adventures. It's an 80 average on game rankings, average trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 550 hours to finish all the games in the collection. For $20, 67% off, Grand Theft Auto The Trilogy, the Definitive Edition, brings 3 iconic stories to a new generation, with enhanced textures, draw distances, and GTA 5 style controls for a more modernized experience. Explore bustling Liberty City with Claude, neon-soaked Vice City with Tommy Vercetti, and early San Andreas as CJ, with recent patches bringing them more in line with the original experiences. It's a 95 average on game rankings, average trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 130 hours to get all 3 platinums. For $14, 65% off, Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled is a remastered kart racing experience that brings the beloved classic roaring back with upgraded visuals, tighter controls, and all your favorite tracks, characters, and power-ups. You'll power slide through challenging and creative courses, perform stylish tricks, and compete online or locally with friends while unlocking new karts, arenas, and customization options to dominate the leaderboards. It's an 83 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. For $20, 50% off, Dragon Quest XI Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition is the ultimate version of the acclaimed RPG, featuring all original content plus extra character scenarios, orchestral or original soundtrack options, and enhanced visuals. Embark on an epic journey as the chosen hero hunted across the vast world of Erdrea, and unite a band of loyal companions to overthrow dark forces threatening to plunge the realm into chaos. It's a 92 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 120 hours to platinum. For $15, 62% off, Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade is a stunning reimagining of the opening chapter of the original classic, retelling Cloud Strife's escape from the oppressive city of Midgar with modern visuals, voice acting, and cinematic storytelling. Intergrade also includes episode Intermission, a brand new side story starring Yuffie, following Yuffie's covert mission to infiltrate Shinra, link up with Avalanche, and steal powerful materia. It's an 88 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 60 hours to platinum. For $21, 40% off, Sea of Stars is a turn-based RPG where you follow 2 children of the solstice who harness the power of the sun and moon to battle an ancient alchemist's monstrous creations and uncover hidden secrets. You'll explore lush islands, solve environmental puzzles, and engage in timing-based combat that rewards precise inputs, smart party synergy, and creative use of spells and combos across a richly crafted, retro-inspired world. It's an 89 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. For $21, 70% off, Star Wars Outlaws is an open-world action-adventure game where you play as scoundrel Kay Vess, risking it all to gain freedom and carve out a new life while navigating the galaxy's dangerous criminal underworld. Explore bustling cities and sprawling outdoor landscapes on your speeder, take on high-stakes missions for crime syndicates, and pilot your ship, the Trailblazer, in thrilling dogfights against the Empire and rival outlaws. It's a 75 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $24, 60% off, Octopath Traveler 2 is a JRPG blending HD 2D pixel art and 3D CG to create a beautifully detailed, immersive world where 8 travelers each follow unique paths filled with personal goals and emotional storylines. Explore Celestia's diverse regions, from bustling cities to open seas, engaging in strategic combat using familiar break and boost mechanics, while developing each character's jobs and path actions to shape your journey. It's an 85 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 90 hours to platinum. For $17, 75% off, Doom Eternal Deluxe Edition puts you in the Slayer's boots as Hell's armies invade Earth, delivering an epic single-player campaign of fast-paced, push-forward first-person combat across dimensions. The Deluxe Edition includes the Year 1 Pass, giving access to 2 campaign expansions, The Ancient Gods Part 1 and 2, where you battle through Urdak and Hell to confront cosmic threats and the Dark Lord himself. It's an 89 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $30, 40% off, Diablo 4 delivers a massive next-gen action RPG where you'll master countless abilities, battle endless demonic hordes, and scour nightmarish dungeons for legendary loot. Explore a dark open world filled with terrifying creatures, memorable characters, and a gripping campaign you can tackle solo or with friends, then dive into robust endgame activities like challenging massive world bosses and participating in seasonal events. It's an 88 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 150 hours to platinum. For $16, 70% off, Persona Dancing Endless Night Collection is a rhythm game bundle that brings together Persona 3 Dancing in Moonlight, Persona 4 Dancing All Night, and Persona 5 Dancing in Starlight in a one stylish package. With iconic Persona soundtracks adapted for rhythm gameplay, character customization, and social events that deepen bonds with teammates, it delivers stylish, fan-focused musical fun. It's a 75 average on OpenCritic, average trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 35 hours to get all 3 platinums. For $12, 80% off, Deathloop is a stylish next-gen first-person shooter where Colt is trapped in a deadly time loop on the mysterious island of Black Reef, forced to assassinate 8 key targets before the day resets to escape and survive. You'll experiment with stealth, guns-blazing combat, and otherworldly abilities across beautifully crafted retro-futuristic environments, learning from each loop to gather intel and execute increasingly creative takedowns. It's an 88 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $40, 20% off, The Elder Scrolls IV Oblivion Remastered is a classic open-world RPG with modern visuals and refined gameplay, where you explore Cyrodiil and stop the forces of Oblivion from overtaking the land in one unforgettable journey. Travel through recreated landscapes, battle across the plains of Oblivion, forge your path as a warrior, assassin, or sorcerer, and master swordcraft and magic while interacting with a memorable cast. It's an 82 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. For $15, 50% off, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is an action platformer where Sargon races through a mythic Persian world using time-bending abilities and sharp swordplay to outfight deadly enemies and conquer layered platforming challenges. You'll chain acrobatics with precise combat across sprawling zones filled with hidden paths, tricky traversal sequences, and clever environmental puzzles that reward timing and steady mechanical mastery. It's an 87 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $15, 75% off, Dying Light 2 Stay Human is a post-apocalyptic action RPG where you play Aiden Caldwell, a wandering pilgrim navigating the last city on Earth, searching for your missing sister while surviving hordes of relentless zombies. You'll engage in creative, gory combat, free run across rooftops, and explore sprawling environments full of loot, secrets, and nightmarish threats that take control after sunset, using parkour and ingenuity to survive. It's a 76 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 120 hours to platinum. For $20, 50% off, Trails of Cold Steel is a story-driven JRPG set at Thor's military academy, where Erebonia's elite are trained in both war and the liberal arts. First-year student Reen Schwartzer joins Class 7, a controversial group mixing nobles and commoners, and must navigate school life, complex friendships, and dangerous conspiracies, while preparing to defend the nation from forces seeking to plunge it into chaos and reshape Erebonia's future. It's a 79 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 100 hours to platinum. For $15, 75% off, Far Cry 6 is an open-world shooter set on the tropical island of Yara, where you play as Danny Rojas fighting alongside a modern-day guerrilla revolution to overthrow the ruthless dictatorship of Anton Castillo. Explore the expansive world across dense jungles, sun-soaked beaches, and the capital city of Esperanza, using an over-the-top arsenal of resolver weapons, customizable backpacks, and vehicles to dismantle the regime. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $20, 50% off, Trails of Cold Steel 2 is a story-driven JRPG where Rean Schwarzer sets out to reunite with his friends and end a growing civil war across Erebonia while confronting powerful new enemies and uncovering hidden conspiracies. Travel across a war-torn nation, engage in turn-based combat with tactical link abilities, and build relationships with classmates while uncovering deeper political conflicts and character-driven storyline. It's an 82 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 100 hours to platinum. For $18, 80% off, Lost Judgment Ultimate Edition is a narrative-driven action-adventure where private detective Takayuki Yagami revisits a chilling case of seemingly impossible crimes, including the full base game and all DLC. You'll investigate using gadgets and classic sleuthing, brawl through streets with 3 distinct martial arts styles, and go deep undercover in side activities like street racing and side cases across Kamurocho and Ijincho. It's an 83 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 80 hours to platinum. For $24, 65% off, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 is a third-person shooter hack-and-slash that lets you embody the superhuman and brutal might of a Space Marine, battling the galaxy's horrors with devastating weaponry and relentless tactics. Crush Tyranid swarms, defend humanity across epic solo missions, and coordinate with allies in intense 3-player co-op campaigns and PvE challenges, unlocking new skills, gear, and cosmetics. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 60 hours to platinum. For $15, 25% off, Dragon Ball Z Kakarot is an action RPG that lets you relive Goku's epic journey and the adventures of the Z Fighters, combining high-octane battles with everyday life in the Dragon Ball universe. You'll train, fight, and explore while strengthening bonds with iconic characters and taking on classic story arcs, from the Saiyan invasion to Majin Buu, all while engaging in side quests and dynamic world events that enrich the experience. It's a 73 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. For $19, 35% off, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora is a first-person action-adventure set in the untamed western frontier of Pandora, where you play as a Na'vi struggling to reclaim your heritage after years under the control of the human RDA Corporation. Explore breathtaking open-world regions, craft gear, and bond with a personal banshee to soar across the skies, while mastering both traditional Na'vi weapons and human firearms in dynamic combat. It's a 72 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $20, 60% off, the Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Editions are legendary, choice-driven RPGs, where every decision shapes your journey across the Sword Coast and Forgotten Realms with modern enhancements. You'll customize your hero, recruit allies, tackle challenging combat, and explore story-rich environments while experiencing the original campaigns, expansions, and extra content. It's a 92 average on game rankings, average trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 130 hours to get both platinums. For $14, 65% off, Solar Ash is a high-speed, gravity-defying action-adventure from the creators of Hyper Light Drifter, set in a surreal dreamscape filled with the haunting ruins of long-lost fallen civilizations and forgotten worlds. You play as Rey, a daring Void Runner on a mission to stop the Ultra Void's path of eternal hunger, traversing ashen skies, grappling to dizzying heights, and battling grotesque mobs and massive otherworldly bosses. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 15 hours to platinum. For $21, 70% off, Atomic Heart is a first-person action-adventure set in an alternate Soviet utopia where humans once lived alongside loyal robots until a tragic accident unleashes mutant creatures, superpowered machines, and rebelling robots. Using your experimental power glove, blades, and cutting-edge weaponry, you'll fight frenetic, high-stakes battles, combine skills with environmental advantages, and upgrade your arsenal to survive. It's a 74 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 35 hours to platinum. For $25, 50% off, Star Ocean: The Second Story R is a JRPG where you explore a richly crafted world filled with memorable characters, turn-based battles, and an epic story of adventure, friendship, and destiny. You'll experience the original game enhanced with new battle mechanics, full Japanese and English voiceovers, and 2.5D visuals that blend 2D pixel characters with 3D environments, creating a modernized yet nostalgic RPG experience. It's an 85 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For $25, 50% off, Spider-Man Remastered is the complete superhero adventure, including all 3 DLC chapters in the City That Never Sleeps, with improved textures, lighting, and faster load times. Swing through a beautifully recreated New York City, battle iconic villains, and experience fast-paced combat and web-slinging across towering skyscrapers, all while following Peter Parker's compelling story of heroism and personal growth. It's an 88 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For $14, 82% off, Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom Deluxe Edition is an epic JRPG where you join young King Evan on a grand quest to found a new kingdom, unite his world, and save its people from a looming evil. Explore beautifully crafted kingdoms, engage in strategic real-time battles, and navigate a rich story filled with unforgettable characters, magical creatures, and whimsical side quests, with the Deluxe Edition adding 2 additional expansions. It's an 87 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 85 hours to platinum. For $35, 75% off, Assassin's Creed Valhalla Complete Edition lets you become Ivor, a Viking warrior carving a legendary path through England's Dark Ages and shaping your clan's destiny. The game features visceral melee and ranged combat, dual-wield weapons, the iconic Hidden Blade, and includes all expansions: Dawn of Ragnarok, Wrath of the Druids, The Siege of Paris, plus the Legend of Beowulf quests and Berserker packs. It's an 83 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 100 hours to platinum. For $36, 40% off, Dragon Quest III HD 2D Remake is a stunning reimagining of the classic RPG that started the legendary Eidric trilogy, beautifully rebuilt in Square Enix's signature HD 2D engine. You'll embark on a grand quest across the vast world of Alyahan as Ortega's child, assembling a custom party of heroes with unique vocations, appearances, voices, skills, and abilities, including the all-new Monster Wrangler class exclusive to this version. It's an 85 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 65 hours to platinum. For $30, 50% off, Hell Is Us is a tense third-person action-adventure set in a war-torn, demon-haunted country where you must confront both human and supernatural threats while uncovering the shocking truth about your past. Explore a semi-open world with no map, compass, or quest markers, relying on your instincts to navigate, solve mysteries, and make choices that shape your journey through a landscape ravaged by civil war and a strange, deadly calamity. It's a 78 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. $24, 60% off, Neo: The World Ends With You is an action RPG where Rindo is forced to compete in the Deadly Reapers game, a mysterious contest that could cost him his life and reshape his destiny. You'll explore the vibrant, anime-inspired streets of Shibuya, use psychic pins to unleash flashy, strategic attacks, and combine precise timing with tactical combat to defeat a wide variety of enemies while uncovering the game's twisted rules. It's an 82 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 80 hours to platinum. For $35, 30% off, Final Fantasy Tactics: The Ivalice Chronicles is a tactical RPG set in Ivalice, where nobles, commoners, and gods collide during the War of the Lions in a richly detailed world. You follow Ramza and Delita as they navigate political intrigue, personal loyalty, and divine mysteries, engaging in deep strategic battles across 3D isometric fields filled with varied terrain, environmental hazards, and complex turn-order dynamics. It's an 88 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. For $18, 70% off, Like a Dragon: Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii is a wild action-adventure that blends over-the-top combat, open sea exploration, and a comedic, story-driven pirate tale. You play as Goro Majima, an ex-Yakuza who has lost his memory and reinvents himself as a pirate, assembling a unique crew, upgrading your ship, and battling rival pirates and criminals both on land and at sea in the hunt for lost memories and legendary treasure. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $15, 40% off, I Expect You to Die is a VR puzzle adventure that puts you in the role of an elite secret agent trying to survive high-stakes missions filled with deadly traps, and a delightfully retro spy aesthetic inspired by classic espionage films. Each mission challenges your creativity and reflexes as you solve intricate puzzles using telekinesis, logic, and whatever tools you can find, blending humor, tension, and ingenuity. It's an 83 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 1 out of 10, and about 5 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $15, 70% off, Like a Dragon Gaiden: The Man Who Erased His Name once again follows legendary Yakuza Kazuma Kiryu, who faked his death to protect his family, as he is drawn back into conflict by a mysterious figure. Under the codename Joryu, Kiryu navigates vibrant locations filled with compelling characters, switching between the bone-crunching Yakuza style and high-tech, precision-driven agent style in visceral melee combat. It's a 79 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 25 hours to platinum. For For 16 bucks, 60% off, SnowRunner is an off-road simulation RPG that puts you in the driver's seat of powerful vehicles as you conquer extreme terrains and untamed environments across a massive open world filled with hazards. Take on challenging contracts solo or team up with friends in 4-player co-op while exploring, customizing your fleet, upgrading vehicles, and testing your driving skills in the most advanced terrain simulation to date. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 100 hours to platinum. For 12 bucks, 75% off, the Crysis Remastered trilogy delivers 3 visually stunning first-person shooters, fully updated with enhanced textures, lighting, and effects. You play as a super soldier, using a nanosuit with speed, strength, and cloaking abilities in Crysis Remastered, customizing the upgraded nanosuit 2.0 in Crysis 2 Remastered, and uncovering the truth behind the Cell Corporation in Crysis 3 Remastered. It's an 84 average on game rankings, average trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 40 hours to get all 3 platinums. For 24 bucks, 60% off, Tekken 8 is the latest entry in the fighting game series, with over 32 detailed characters with high-resolution models, featuring cinematic story sequences and interactive stages. Engage in fast-paced battles using new mechanics like heat, rage arts, and the accessible special-style control system, while exploring the story mode or customizing your avatar for arcade challenges, online ranked matches, and interactive lobbies. It's a 90 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For 25 bucks, 50% off, Ninja Gaiden 2 Black is an action classic where you play as Ryu Hayabusa, a legendary ninja wielding the Dragon Sword on a bloody quest worldwide. Rebuilt in Unreal Engine 5 with reworked environments and striking character details, you unleash an arsenal of weapons from shurikens to Kasarigamas, while mastering fluid combos, dismemberments, and evasive maneuvers against relentless foes across massive stages. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 80 hours to platinum. For 20 bucks, 50% off, Dragon Quest Builders 2 is a charming sandbox RPG where players construct, explore, and battle through a vibrant block-based world, combining creative building with classic Dragon Quest storytelling and combat. With its colorful environments, engaging crafting mechanics, playful quests, and cozy progression systems, it's perfect for both fans of the series and newcomers looking for a relaxing yet rewarding adventure. It's an 85 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 50 hours to platinum. For 20 bucks, 33% off, The Midnight Walk is a dark fantasy adventure built entirely in clay, following the Burnt One and their companion Potboy as they traverse a haunting world of light and shadow. Together, you'll explore 5 interwoven tales filled with monsters that crave Potboy's flame, eerie forests, forgotten ruins, and strange beings who blur the line between friend and foe, all presented through emotional storytelling and immersive stop-motion animation. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 5 hours to platinum. For 30 bucks, 50% off, Dragon Quest Builders is a charming sandbox RPG set in the shattered realm of Alefgard, long ago ruined, where humanity has lost the ability to build after the Dragon Lord's devastating conquest. As a legendary builder chosen by the goddess, you'll gather materials, craft tools, and rebuild towns from the ground up, while battling monsters and restoring hope through creative construction and classic Dragon Quest storytelling. It's an 83 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For 15 bucks, 50% off, Sakuna of Rice and Ruin is a beautifully animated action platformer and farming sim hybrid, where the banished harvest goddess Sakuna must survive on demon-infested Hinoe Island. Chain together farm tool-based combos with the divine raiment and side-scrolling battles, cultivate detailed rice crops that directly boost your stats, and craft weapons, armor, and meals with the help of Tama and your band of human companions. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For 30 bucks, 50% off, Attack on Titan 2 Final Battle is an action game where you relive the anime story as Eren and his allies fight to protect humanity from the terrifying Titan threat across multiple seasons and intense battles. Experience fast-paced combat with ODM gear, play as over 40 characters, and use new weapons like the Thunder Spear, while exploring modes like Territory Recovery Mode and expanded story content with additional missions. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 8 out of 10, and about 80 hours to platinum. For 25 bucks, 50% off, Senua's Saga Hellblade 2 is the deeply emotional sequel to the award-winning Senua's Sacrifice, following Senua's harrowing journey of survival through the myth and madness of Viking Iceland. Determined to rescue those tormented by tyranny, she must once again confront both the horrors around her and the darkness within, while navigating haunting landscapes filled with mythic beasts and perilous environmental challenges. It's an 81 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $24, 20% off, Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance is an action RPG set in the Dungeons & Dragons world, where you battle through dangerous dungeons and uncover a sinister plot threatening Baldur's Gate and its surrounding regions. Fight using melee weapons, cast powerful spells, and explore dungeon-filled environments, while solving puzzles, collecting loot, and facing hordes of enemies in real-time combat. It's an 84 on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 20 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $12, 60% off, Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered Edition is an action RPG where a band of crystal caravanners journeys across a miasma-covered world to gather myrrh and keep their homeland's crystal alive. Venture through perilous dungeons using spell fusion magic and strategic real-time combat, and experience beautifully remastered visuals with challenging new dungeons and added story content. It's an 81 on game rankings, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 50 hours to 100%, no platinum for this one. For $18, 40% off, Shinobi Art of Vengeance is a 2D action platformer with hand-drawn visuals, putting you in the shoes of legendary ninja Joe Musashi on a quest to avenge his clan after their village is destroyed and kin turned to stone. Master ninja arts, including the katana borozuki, kunai, ninjutsu, and ninpo to execute devastating combos, acquire amulets for enhanced abilities, and use ningi tools to overcome obstacles and uncover hidden paths. It's an 87 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 20 hours to platinum. For $12, 40% off, Chants of Sennaar is a puzzle adventure where you explore a mysterious, labyrinthine tower divided by forgotten languages, seeking to restore the balance between its warring peoples and ancient factions. You'll traverse multi-layered labyrinths, decipher ancient scripts, and solve environmental puzzles while using stealth, observation, and cunning to avoid the tower's vigilant guardians and uncover a long-lost past. It's an 82 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 2 out of 10, and about 10 hours to platinum. For $15, 70% off, Assassin's Creed Syndicate Gold Edition drops you into Victorian London at the dawn of the modern age, where twin assassins Jacob and Evie Fry wage a ruthless war against the Templar-controlled underworld. The Gold Edition includes the Season Pass with the Jack the Ripper expansion, additional story missions, exclusive outfits, weapons, and boosts, all running at a smooth 60 FPS for a more fluid experience. It's a 77 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 4 out of 10, and about 35 hours to platinum. For $24, 65% off, Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War is a pulse-pounding first-person shooter that thrusts you in the volatile geopolitical conflict in the early 1980s during global tension and espionage. Experience a cinematic single-player campaign filled with espionage, deception, and covert operations as you chase down a shadowy Soviet threat across East Berlin, Vietnam, Turkey, and within KGB headquarters, where every decision can alter history. It's a 75 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 70 hours to platinum. For $18, 40% off, Ys Memories of Celceta is an action RPG where Adol Christin explores a mysterious forest to recover his lost memories and uncover the secrets of an uncharted land filled with danger and ancient ruins. Explore the vast, great forest of Celceta, engage in fast-paced real-time combat, and map out unknown territories while building a party, discovering hidden landmarks, and uncovering deeper story elements. It's a 76 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 60 hours to platinum. For $30, 25% off, Elden Ring Nightreign is a standalone action RPG set within the Elden Ring universe, reimagining its core design around a darker, more cooperative experience against an ever-changing knight. You'll choose from uniquely skilled heroes with distinct abilities and playstyles, and team up in 3-player co-op where strengths combine into powerful synergies as you explore shifting landscapes shaped by a relentless environmental threat. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 7 out of 10, and about 40 hours to platinum. For $12, 70% off, Wasteland 3 is a post-apocalyptic RPG where you lead a squad of desert rangers into the frozen wastelands of Colorado to save your home state of Arizona. Engage in tactical, turn-based combat across richly detailed, dangerous environments, make brutal ethical choices that ripple through the story, and customize both your team's skills and your Kodiak vehicle into a war-ready machine capable of surviving the harsh landscape. It's an 86 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and about 60 hours to platinum. For For $24, 60% off, Banishers: Ghosts of New Eden is a narrative-driven action RPG set in 1695 North America, following ghost hunters Antea Duarte and Red McWraith as their fight against the supernatural turns tragically personal. Explore the haunted wilds of New Eden, investigate disturbing cases within isolated communities, and battle lingering spirits by combining Red's weapons with Antea's powerful spectral abilities in story-focused combat. It's an 80 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 60 hours to platinum. For $20, 33% off, Disgaea 5 Alliance of Vengeance is a tactical SRPG where you lead a ragtag group of rebels to challenge the tyrannical demon emperor Void Dark and save the Netherworlds. You'll guide Killia as he joins forces with eccentric overlords, assembling an army capable of executing outrageous attacks across grid-based battlefields, leveling up endlessly, and exploiting deep mechanics that reward creativity and strategy. It's an 82 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 110 hours to platinum. For $10, 33% off, Valhalla Cyberpunk Bartender Action is a stylish narrative-driven bartending sim set in a neon-soaked, rain-drenched dystopian city ruled by corporations, nanomachines, and corrupt enforcers. As Jill, a bartender at the small yet iconic Valhalla, you'll mix drinks for a cast of unforgettable characters, each with complex lives and intertwining stories that shift and unfold based on what you serve them rather than what you say. It's an 84 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 5 hours to platinum. For $12, 50% off, The Room VR: A Dark Matter is a spine-tingling puzzle adventure that immerses you in the mysterious disappearance of a renowned Egyptologist in 1908 London, with eerie Victorian atmosphere pulling you into a world of secrets and intrigue. Explore cryptic locations, manipulate intricate gadgets, and uncover hidden secrets as you traverse an otherworldly dimension where reality and illusion collide, all crafted for virtual reality. It's a 79 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 3 out of 10, and about 5 hours to platinum. For $35, 50% off, Dragon Ball Sparking Zero is a 3D fighting spectacle that brings the Budokai Tenkaichi series to new heights, letting you control over 180 characters from Dragon Ball Z, Super, GT, and select movies, each with signature abilities and transformations. Engage in fast-paced battles with beam clashes, rush attacks, and ultimate moves faithful to the anime, while testing your skills in online multiplayer or replaying iconic story moments. It's an 82 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 5 out of 10, and about 30 hours to platinum. For $30, 50% off, Final Fantasy XIV Online Complete Edition is a massively multiplayer online RPG that includes the base game and all expansions through Dawn Trail, plus a 30-day free play period. Create your Warrior of Light, explore continents, and engage in epic battles across lands from A Realm Reborn to Heavensward, Stormblood, Shadowbringers, Endwalker, and Dawn Trail, while uncovering storylines, forging alliances, and participating in raids. It's an 87 on OpenCritic, trophy difficulty around 6 out of 10, and over 1,000 hours to platinum. Alright, that's it for today's list, everybody. If you've played any of these already, drop your thoughts in the comments. Your insights help others find great games too, it's not just mine. As always, I want to thank all my channel members for their generous support, but to all you out there who watch, comment, subscribe, and all that good stuff as well, thank you. You're the reason I'm still having fun making all these videos every day, and I'm genuinely grateful for each and every one of you out there. If you can spare $1 a month, you get early access to all my videos, and it helps me out more than you know. But I know times are tough out there, so all I do ask is, if you enjoyed the video, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with any new sale stuff that I put out, leave a like, and comment down below if you've got any of these platinums or plan on going for any of them.